AI video is becoming one of those things that we do not want to sleep on. Even authors like us, I generally haven't talked about AI video on this channel because I focus mostly on the writing part of things, but we are entering an era now where AI video is getting good enough that a single person could create a pretty high quality film using the tools that are out there. Now, I still think there's a little bit of uncanny valley in the video side of things for like live action stuff and different styles of animation. It is absolutely good enough right now that you could absolutely create a film on your own. And I think we are heading to an area where eventually people won't just be like writing books or making movies, but will be more like IP directors that can do all of those things and kind of just have this suite of story adaptations that people can pick and choose from depending on their preference for consuming that story. Now, it's not going to be quite that simple, I'm sure, but I do think we're heading into that area where anybody can make a movie, anybody can create a video game, etc. And at the very least, I know that AI is becoming extremely powerful for marketing books, doing things like short form videos on TikTok and stuff like that. TikTok has always been a really valuable and useful marketing tool for authors. And AI, as I understand it from the people that are working with it right now, is actually an extremely powerful tool for TikTok creation. And has actually been very effective despite some of the negative attitudes that some people have for AI. The data is actually telling a different story there. So I strongly recommend that authors start digging into AI video, if only for the marketing side of things. Now, this is going to be the first of a series of videos, all led by Ekello, who you've seen in a couple of videos on this channel. This is the only one that I'm going to be introducing, and I'm just going to let him take the lead on all of the others. So go ahead and take it away, Ekello, with the first video in this series.
Hello, my name's Ekello, and boy, am I happy to be a nerdy novelist. AI video went from being a party trick to basically a production tool in about 18 months, and a lot of authors have not even come close to understanding that that's happening, which means that you're either going to spend the next, I don't know, year ahead blazing the trails, or you're going to spend the next year ahead watching a whole bunch of authors do anything that they want to, do things beyond possibility, do the amazing. This video is the map where we're going to cover the 3 tools that are leading the video generation space right now. And we're going to talk about the tools that let you shape and edit AI video like a real producer, like a real director. How video actually fits into your publishing business. We're going to talk about that. And actually, we're also going to talk about how long this video and exactly what this series is going to be about. We're going to talk about that too. All right, first off, let's actually talk about who's making the AI video tools, because there are a lot of tools out there and most of them are noise. And I mean, really, honestly, a lot of them are. But these three that I'm about to show you, they've been around a while or they are at the top of their game. So they are a lot less about the noise. These are the generators. We have Runway, is the established leader in the West. It came out here first. It was one of the first ones that had video. It's been around a long time and it's super reliable. It used to be an actual production professional. A bunch of them used to be production professionals that work there, and it produces genuinely high output. I'm not going to show you a video from there, but maybe I will show you a video from there, and I'll show you one from Seedance too. If you're going to be starting anywhere though, Runway is your huckleberry. And then there's Seedance. It's built by a Chinese company and it's worth knowing because it has the best motion quality and it's super exceptional, especially when you're talking about fluid motion or fight scenes or character action or cinematic atmosphere. It may not be the first name that you actually know, but it is the best. Now, let me show you some examples of both Runway and Seedance. This is Runway. This is the quality of the video that I am showing you right now is amazing. This is curated by an actual filmmaker, a person who really understands how to make film. This right here is how good it can get under the hands of a master at filmmaking. And this is Seedance. It is absolutely amazing. It is truly, truly wonderful. That's just one example. And look at the quality.
So it's actually able to take a actual character sheet and create a full scene from that character, make it as consistent as it possibly can. Look at all of the micro expressions that it is able to actually take, nuanced, little, teeny, subtle things, and make them really, really sing. I'm going to do my best to keep these muted because some of them might have music in it. And for some reason, they think generated music should be struck. But whatever, because I'm like, wait a minute, aren't we? Anyway, so we have this right now. Sea Dance, the top of the food chain. And then last but not least, we have Kling. Kling from, Kling. It's also a Chinese company, and it punches above its weight, but it's particularly cinematic with its movements and stuff like that when you need it to like really be locked down. But they have been falling behind a bit. There are some people that are nipping at their heels. Reason why I'm not showing you their videos because they're just not quite there. Kind of like VO is right now, where it's really pretty good for certain things, but video, motion graphics, stuff like that, not solved yet. Thumbnails for YouTube videos, definitely solved, but not that. Again, but the reason I'm showing you this is because it's literally at the top of the food chain. So you don't need all three, but you do need to know that they exist, right? What they do, how they do them, which one might be better for you, depending on what you're doing. I personally have given you a lot of examples here of why you could use these. We'll go through this deeper, each one of them, in the following episodes. Now, here's the thing that most people miss, okay? Generation is only the first step. Tools, they let you shape the output, edit things, do motion graphics. That is the next layer. You can make actually good looking videos, and that's a whole separate layer, and that is where things start to really get interesting for authors. This is Buttercut. This gentleman taught Claude Code to edit movies. He did, and he took that thing, and that thing is called Buttercut. Okay, Buttercut is a AI powered. This is Buttercut. Buttercut is basically this gentleman right here, Claude Code, how to edit movies. And because he taught Claude Code, he inadvertently taught Codex also. He doesn't know that, but he did. You can pretty much point your AI at a GitHub repo, and then it will read it and know how to use it. So that's what this is. It is an AI powered rough cut editor. You give it your raw footage, your talking head video, your screen recording, or anything like that. And as you can see, he's in a terminal right now, and he's going to actually be typing into the terminal. It's pretty intense, if you ask me. But I have Claude, I have dictation software, I have my natural voice. I should be fine. You give it all of your raw footage. You give it your talking head, you give it your screen recordings, whatever, and it reads the transcript, understands the story you're telling, and makes editorial decisions conversationally. You talk to it like a director talking to an editor. It hands the finished rough cut to you as an XML file for DaVinci Resolve or any other program that you might want to edit in. I use DaVinci Resolve. He uses DaVinci Resolve because it's free. And so that's why I like to use it, because you can go and get it for free. Not $300, because that's how much this studio version costs. But all right. And that is Buttercut. This is Hyperframes. Hyperframes is an HTML native motion graphics engine. Okay, get what I'm saying? Since it's HTML native, that means code. And guess what really is good at code? That's right, Claude or ChatGPT or Codex. It's designed to be operated by AI agents, which means that you can describe what you want. Animated titles, lower thirds, kinetic type. It builds it. No After Effects, no motion, no, nothing, just code. Look right here. There's tons and tons of code right here that it reads, and it builds stuff right here. Really, really intense stuff, but that's okay because the AI understands how to read it. So that right there, Hyperframes. Last but not least, absolutely not least, is Remotion. This is React's version kind of hyperframes, except it kind of is a little more technical and it goes way, way further. It's way more powerful. If you want to use ProRes, transparent overlays, cinematic animated graphics, or full motion compositions, dropped into your edit, Remotion is your tool. It's the one for you. At least I use it over here at my channel, which is Why AI Matters, and I love using this. I have started to actually change the way that the graphics look, change the fonts that it uses, because it seems to automatically go straight for the same fonts with the same outlook and everything. I wanted to do jagged, weird things with asymmetrical shapes and stuff like that, because I don't want it to look like everyone else. But this, let me run this sequence for you right here. This right here is a sequence that let me see, can I zoom in? This sequence I built, I would just talk about all of the stuff that happened in AI over the past, say, 45 days since the beginning. This was mostly about Claude, was what I was going to do this for. And this is basically ready for a video. All I have to do is pull them up. As you could see earlier when I was pulling up different motion graphics, that's what I was doing here. These three tools, Buttercut, Hyperframes, Remotion, they are your production layer. They're how your raw AI actually finishes your video for you, okay? So whatever video you're going to use, you're probably going to end up using one of these at the end and actually make it look like your brand. Now, let's talk about your business. Okay, so you understand what the tools can do. Now, where does your video actually live in a author's world? Because that's the part that usually is missing from these conversations. Your author website, that is probably a place where you can use video the most. I'm talking about hero videos. I'm talking about book trailers, about me reels. That's really a powerful thing. Videos on a website can change how a person perceives that author, how long a person stays on the site, and how much money they spend in your presence, and how much they trust you. These are all really amazing sort of catalysts for, you making money and also having a thriving publishing business. All right, what else? Social media, store clips, scene teasers, quote cards with motion. Okay, you could make Magic the Gathering cards for all of your characters. You could do anything, 15, 30-second clips. That would be enough. And it would change things for you. And then there's always your email. You could have a video thumbnail in a email drive clicks. They could literally click on it, the fun little prize at the end of the click. The way it doesn't, plain text doesn't do this exact same thing. This would be electric. Ads, of course, ads for book launches. A 15-minute or 30-second AI generated spot is now within reach for most independent authors. They could easily afford this. And then there's always bonus content. That juicy little thing that makes your newsletter the poppin' thing every week that people want to open. And then every once in a while you have a new book and then they just keep buying. Well, world building, walkthroughs, behind the scenes, something for everyone, for super fans, for patrons, for Patreons, for everyone. You could easily get super fans, I would have to think, at least twice as quickly as you would just by using video in the correct way in your publishing business. The point is that video is no longer something that only traditional published authors with marketing budgets can access. The tool exists. The workflows, they exist. And by the end of the series, you'll have it. What is this series? Well, here's what we're building in the series. Every episode is built around a real story, a real workflow, and something that you can do with your own book. I mean, literally, you can make a comic book. We're going to actually do that. We're going to make a comic book, which is a precursor to storyboards. You'll think to yourself, no, why are we making comic books? It's because we're going to be making storyboards, which will be used for, you got it, your films. So this is real things that we're going to do with your book. All right. So we talked about the state of AI video This is the one where it kind of gives you a little primer on some of the things and some of the ways that we're going to be thinking about artificial intelligence and making videos for your publishing business. That's right, the missing step, how to turn prose into production scripts. We're going to work through how you can make a production script, which is very similar to making a film script, which is a good primer for people who are doing that. Then 3, we're going to turn a novel scene into an AI short film. We're going to use my jump box, which, by the way, the prose into a production script, we're going to wedge another video in between there where the comic book happens so that we can use that for the short film. Or maybe even we'll put them all together. I'm trying to decide on how epic that episode should be. Then the 4th thing is the AI video battle. We're going to keeping your characters consistent across all of your clips. I have figured it out. I even built a tool. I don't know if I'm going to give away the tool, but I will give you all of the prompts probably so that you and your AI can build the tool. And then maybe right here is where we'll still do the comic book, okay? These visual paths they will lead you down to the same thing. The visual paths will lead you to the same thing. But I am still thinking about putting the comic book ahead of that. So wait and see. And then 2 visual paths from the same material is going to happen because it's easy to see that comic books are a panel, that making a panel for a storyboard is basically the same thing, except at the end, one is moving, one's not. All right. And then 6, we're going to make some book trailers. That's right. We're going to make book trailers. Really cool things. We're going to incorporate music into those book trailers. So get your Suno on. And then those trailers are going to be really like exciting and bombastic. We're going to use Seed Dance because it'll be able to do multiple scenes. We'll be able to storyboard the whole thing out, give it to Seed Dance, and have it work those things out. You saw some of the examples earlier. All right. And then 7, we're going to make an AI video as a pre-visualization for maybe a bigger scene or something like that. So that's going to be a really kind of tricky thing. But one of the cool things about pre-visualizations is that they can be used before you actually shoot real stuff so that you know what angles you want, what visuals you want. And a pre-visualization can be a cheap way of figuring out what your AI video is going to look like before you make it. And then 8, the ethical author's guide. What's safe, what's not, and we're going to give you a big old checklist on that. Subscribe if you don't want to miss any of it. And if you already have built something, you own your own trailer, a scene demo, a character reel, something like that, drop it in the comments. We read them and your project might become a future episode demo. You never know. I do love trolling. All right. Have a good day. See you in the next video.